Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming techie is the gaming tech. Gaming techie.
Alright guys, so here we are with our movie theater for 2018. I wanted to show you guys what it looks like currently, any changes that I've made and stuff like that, so you guys get a good look and go more into detail of what this movie theater looks like and what's in it. So, let's go ahead and get started. Over here we obviously have the home theater sign for the entrance with a drop your tickets here kind of thing. VGHS, Video Game High School, awesome YouTube series that they made. This is actually signed by the cast. You can kind of see it at the bottom that this poster is signed by the cast. Great show. Here's a panoramic view real quick. Here's the back side. And here's the front side of the movie room. So let's go ahead and start on the back, of course. Over here we have the popcorn machine. This is a Great Northern stand-up popcorn machine. Probably the best you can buy. A lot of the same ones that they use at the carnivals and stuff like that is the one that we're using here. We got some butter, of course, because you can't have enough of that. And, of course, the popcorn machine with the sign over here, which is nice. It's snack time. So that thing works really well. It even has a storage unit where you can put some of the stuff in there. Keep stuff ready to go. Moving on over here, of course, is our candy area. I actually forgot to turn the light on for you guys. Let's turn that on real quick so you guys can take a look of what it looks like when this stuff is actually on. So you can see here that we have the thing going on in the back. So this is how this is basically our favorite candy man where I said sitting in here. Some of the ones that a lot of other people like that come over that aren't necessarily our favorites, but we have anyway. The one that's actually missing there is actually Twizzlers, but not regular Twizzlers. The filled ones that are really good. The red and yellow ones. Those things are amazing. We ran out of those because those get eaten all the time when people are here, including from us. So that's what's missing. But anyway, let's start from the top here. We have a snow cone machine. That thing works really well. A cotton candy machine. A Have a Coke napkin set. And the hot dog maker that we have over here. This actually works really well. It takes a while to make the hot dogs, like 20 minutes or so. Because they sit there and roll and stuff, but they taste good when they're done. Back there real quick, we got some signs here. We got the cinema sign back here and the snacks and treats with the old school prices, because that's definitely not what I'd be charging if I was charging, even though, of course, we don't charge in here. But, all right, so candy. So we got here these Starburst jelly beans, the Fave Reds. Those are only found during Easter time. So looking forward to getting more of those. There's only one pack left. We got Pezzas here, all strawberry Pezzas. Lucky to find that on Amazon. I love that thing. We got some Airheads. Hubba Bubba. Bubble tape is not what's actually in there. Obviously, that's just a bunch of random stuff like ring pops and stuff that we had. Bunch of Crunch. Trolleys. Sour Bright Crawlies. Sweetest Fish. Starburst, of course. There's the actual gum tape. Crazy Hair. That thing's amazing. For those of you who haven't had crazy hair, look that up. Mike and Ike's Juicy Drop. Ran out of those too. We're always running out of stuff here. We're always eating this stuff. M&M's, Snow Caps, Sweet Tarts, Nerds, Gummy Bears, Sour Patches, and then the bottom houses some of the decorations and stuff for our popcorn. The boxes that we have, the bags that we have, the actual popcorn. That's the snow cups ready to go with the strawberry and more replacement napkins. Some of the hot dog bins ready to go there for when we serve hot dogs. The cotton candy sticks are back there as well, and the ketchup bottle and stuff like that. So, and of course, on top we have the main star of what the movie room actually runs with. This is the Epson projector. It is the 4K enhancement projector. It is the, if I remember correctly, the 5400 projector. I'll correct this on the screen if that's not correct. I'm pretty sure it's the 5400, but that projector is amazing. It's 4K enhanced, so it's not a true 4K projector because those are, for the most part, really expensive. But more importantly, I got this projector because it's actually a 3D projector, and I love 3D movies. And I will keep buying 3D movies until we can't find them. Luckily, we can still find a lot of them, and they still make a lot of them. And if you can't find them in the U.S., they're region free, so you can find them on eBay, thank God. But this is a great 4K projector. The color and the screen on this looks freaking amazing. No issues with it at all. It's not as good as a true Samsung 4K HDR. This does have HDR as well. It's not going to be as good as like one of those 4K HDR TVs from Samsung and stuff like that, because like I said, it's a 4K enhanced, but it's still as good as you can get before you start getting into the range of either losing the 3D and not having 3D anymore and still trying to find a 4K projector that's sometimes still not even as good as this. Because some of those 4K projectors that cost like $3, just like this does, I still don't produce the quality and the color and the how nice this projector looks, even though it's not as full 4K. Usually you have to pay like 5, 6, 7 currently for a true 4K projector without 3D because they don't make 3D projectors anymore, unfortunately. So then we got this side of the room here. Let's go ahead and start. We'll start on this corner here and work our way around. So of course we have some of the movie posters that we really like. This is a newly added edition, the Ready Player One. And actually, before we get into that, I almost forgot. I use clip speakers that are in here. It is a 5.1.2. We'll get into what that means in a minute. So we have this thing right here, which basically is a horn for the Devils. Oh, well, it's a horn for any team, but basically when you tap it on the top, that happens. But the whole point of is not tapping it on your own. That thing actually goes off as soon as the Devils score, actually when the games are playing. So when I'm sitting in here, if that goes off, I know they scored, and it's pretty cool that it works with the games live on TV. That's from Budweiser. The clip speakers we were talking about is a 5.1.2. So you got one here. You got the center channel there. You got the two big ones sitting there in the corner. You got the other one, of course, right here. So perfect placement for those two speakers. And what's nice, before I forget, the 5 speakers are those. The 0.1 would be the subwoofer, which is sitting right there. And the 0.2 is because something recently added here as well, is we got some Logitech speakers that work extremely well that are up here for Dolby Atmos, and they actually work really well. And Dolby Atmos is really cool. It points right at our seated area, and you'd be surprised how good that, like how big of an effect that actually has, where you can actually, when you're watching movies and games, hear things coming from above you. Outstanding how good Dolby Atmos works on there. So moving on along that we were trying to talk about before we got the posters here. So these are our current favorite 3 movies on this side, and then we got 3 more on this side. They don't change that often, but they do change sometimes. And sorry, it's a little dark on this side. There's not a crazy amount of light in this room, but Ready Player One is our newly added one. I love that freaking movie for reasons that are probably obvious. The Mighty Ducks, love hockey. Another obvious one. Harry Potter. My wife actually got me into Harry Potter, and I'm obsessed with it as much as she is. Those movies are freaking great. Turning around towards these, we got the Wreck-It Ralph. I love Wreck-It Ralph, and I can't wait for the new one that's coming. Star Wars, also something that my wife actually got me into years ago, because I actually never was into Star Wars when they were coming out, and never, for whatever reason, never watched them, never did anything. But now, after watching all the movies, I'm obsessed as much as everyone else is, and that's the poster for the Force Awakens. Transformers, I know these movies get a lot of shit because a lot of people don't like the new Transformers compared to the old ones. I like all the Transformers movies. I love the Transformers series, the cartoon, all that stuff. And I actually happen to like the Michael Bay films for the most part, most of them. So there you go. All right, so let's start back on this side again. So over here, some of the things that we have on top. We got some bobbleheads and these Funko Pops. And on this side, we only have ones that are like gaming related and stuff like that. Let me rephrase that again. That are movie related. I can't speak today. So these are all the movie related ones. So you can see here, we got some Game of Thrones ones. We got the Ready Player One section over there. So we got Hey Arnold. So we got TV series here as well, besides just movies. So Ninja Turtles. So anything movie or TV related is for Funko Pops is over here. And we got this little shrine over here for Ready Player One with the book and the Blu-ray and the Adventure Atari game box that we know is from the movie, and the art book that it came with, and the you should know what that is if you've seen the movie. The golden coin is sitting there, Extra Life, and the 3 keys. We got a little Pac-Man arcade thing sitting back there. And these 3 things that are hanging up that are called Movie Bill is actually really cool. If you guys want to see a specific video on that, I'll definitely make one. Movie Bill is basically an AR magazine that you use your phone, and you can actually have an interactive experience looking at the magazine. So the 3 that they've made so far is Jurassic World, Avengers, and Mission Impossible. So that's what those are doing there. And of course, in the center, we have our 4 3D glasses that we have sitting in there. Over here, we obviously have some video games. We got the 360 section over here. We got a lot of 360 games. We got this shelf here, and they're full to the top. All 4 of these are 360. And then the bottom, we have PS3 games. We got Wii U. We got Switch games. And then we got arcade sticks and DJ Hero controller sitting over there at the last one. Now, moving over here, this is going to be a little hard to show off. Like I said, based on the lighting, it's a little hard to show. But this is the statue area. So over here, if you can tell, we have the Gears of War statue with some collectibles in there. We have Don's actual pop, and he actually autographed it when we met him at PAX, so that's pretty cool. Halo Reach statue down there. Call of Duty with the airplane thing, that the drone thing, which is pretty cool that it's remote controlled. And then we got like Fallout and Borderlands stuff sitting there at the bottom. If you move over here on this side, we got some Amiibos sitting here. So this is currently our Amiibo collection. We got that shelf and this shelf. So there's our Amiibos. Borderlands chest set sitting here. And this is just some of my favorite games that are sitting up here. So Super Mario Galaxy, Halo 4, and The Last of Us. I basically wanted to pick one of each of the major platforms. So Super Mario Galaxy for Nintendo, Halo obviously for Microsoft, and The Last of Us from PS4. Now coming over here on this side, we have Disney Infinity. I'm so sad that this game actually went down in the gutter because Disney Infinity was a great game. And some of the stuff that they were adding in the later stages that don't exist on PC is why I still keep this collection. Like the Marvel Battlegrounds is a freaking great expansion to the game where they let you use all the Marvel hero battles and basically pay Power Stone with them. Awesome game. Then they made another pack which lets you use all these figures and race. Like, they were doing some good stuff at the end, but unfortunately I guess they just weren't making the money that they needed to. But I still have my whole entire Disney Infinity collection. You can see here all the these are the Marvel ones here on the side. So those are the Marvel figures that I have, and these are the Disney figures that I have. So here on top we obviously have the Star Wars Shrine that I was talking about before. You can see here we have figures for a bunch of them. Some of them are Disney Infinity, if Disney Infinity made them. Some of them, like these, are not because they don't exist in Disney Infinity. So these are just Disney made figures that we have. We have Darth Vader back there, of course, Kylo Ren. So this is a pretty cool area here with a bunch of cool stuff. If you look down here, this is our art book area. Nothing special, just a bunch of art book from video games that I've gotten. These are our 3D Blu-rays. There's mostly only 3D Blu-rays in this house now. Anything that's just a regular Blu-ray has been gotten rid of, which used to be in here. These are just 3D Blu-rays now, and we still do have some old school TV shows on DVD that we just haven't gotten. We're not going to get rid of because they're from our favorite shows, like Boy Meets World, for example. Looking over here, I'm going to get out of the light a little bit so you can get at least a little bit of a view on this. Over here is obviously my entertainment area. So the screen is above here. It comes down when you press a button, of course, and everything turns on. I'll show you guys that at the very end of the video on how that works. But over here, we obviously at the top, we have the Wii U. Then we have the PS4 Pro. Then we have the Philips 4K Blu-ray player that we use for 3D movies and select few 4K Blu-rays that we still own. And then the Apple TV is next to it, and the Switch is on top of it. The Apple TV is actually how we access most of our stuff now that they finally got Dolby Atmos on their store. Now you can use Dolby Atmos, and all our 4K stuff is running through Apple TV. That's why we don't have any Blu-rays or anything anymore. So the only thing we kept is those 3D ones, because you can't obviously purchase 3D movies digitally. But anything that is not 3D is now digitally bought on the Apple TV to be able to access it on all our devices. And it works really well. It looks outstanding, and Dolby Atmos sounds really, really good. Next to the Blu-ray player, we have the Sonos gray box down there. That Sonos box is what we use for outside to control our speakers. It comes down through here, and the outside speakers are what we have going on outside for Sonos. Then we have the Xbox One X sitting to that with an external white hard drive sitting next to that. Towards the back, we obviously have the PS4 controllers to charge, and the gold, the platinum headphones for PS4 if I ever want to use headphones in here instead of the surround sound. And there are PS3 controllers charging there in the back. Towards the bottom here, we have the Xbox 360 Halo Edition on the left. And then right next to that, we got the PS3 and a PS2 above each other. Then we have a Xbox Halo Edition, and this is not just an ordinary Xbox. This is actually a completely modded Xbox that I have. Has a 2 terabyte hard drive. All the lights on it light up. All the controller port lights light up. If anybody wants to see a specific video on that, I'll be more than happy to make a video on that. It has a bunch of emulators. Every emulator you can think of that used to work on the original Xbox and Super Nintendo and NES and Sega Genesis. All the games for them are on there. There's over 700 actual Xbox original games on there, so I don't have to keep swapping discs from my game room. I do own all the discs, but like now I don't have to swap them out. And what's nice is there's obviously some homebrew and stuff, and easily get some game save files from the internet, so you don't have to play through a whole game to unlock some stuff. So that's cool. A lot of cool stuff on that original Xbox that's in there. The surround sound center speakers there, and then the GameCube is next to that. And then, of course, we have the AV system sitting there that controls this whole entire room. It's currently on because the TV's on the other side of the room because this has 2 outputs, so it controls this room with one device, and then the other side of the room actually has another TV that's plugged into that. So anything that's on this side of the room can also be on the other side. So if I have a PS4 running on the left side, I can still have the Xbox running on this side if people are using 2 different rooms, etc., etc. So, and that AV system is a 3400, if I remember correctly. The 3400X is that series. So that thing does everything I need it to do. Obviously, it does 4K pass-through, has 2.0 ports on all the ports. There's nothing this AV system doesn't do that's like new. This is pretty top of the line, or it definitely was when I bought it. I don't know how top of the line it is now, but it's there's nothing I'm missing that I'm cramming to have at an AV system. Has Bluetooth. It even has AirPlay for Apple devices. Has everything. So that is the front of the room and everything that's in it. So the last thing that I left to show you guys last, which is how this whole room is actually controlled. Oh, actually, sorry, I almost forgot. I always forget when I pass this thing. One of the other things that we have here is, of course, the couch, the main area, or the main seating area of this whole entire room. And this stuff has some cool stuff. Not only is it a really comfortable couch, but it opens up here in the center. Pulls this out. We got a table here to eat on. Pull this up. We got actual 2 USB ports and regular chargers to plug something in there. And when we're done, it closes up, and that's it. And what's nice about this is it's also got a cup holder on either side, and it lights up. And you can even control the headrest over here to move the headrest, and of course you can control to move your feet up completely on this thing. It's really, really comfortable. It seats 4. It's technically for 3 people. As you can see, there's 3 actual seats, but we fit 4 people here all the time. You obviously can easily fit 4 people there. And this thing in the center is a yoga butt. It's just to have some extra seating here when someone wants to lay back while we're here. We've done it before, just to get some more extra seating here. If there's more than 4 people, we can fit another 2 or 3 on that thing comfortably. And that thing's really comfortable, especially when you're one person, you're just laying on it. People have slept on this thing. It's basically a beanbag. It's a yoga butt, and the green thing is, this is like when you sit on it, it's supposed to like form like a couch kind of thing. So you're sitting on there, and this becomes like the armrest and stuff. It works really well, and that's like the best beanbag I've ever had, easily. And I hardly have to fill those beans in there, so it works extremely well. The last thing we have here is, of course, a bunch of the boxes here. This is where I keep all of my controllers for all the systems that are laying around. And this couch actually has storage on either side. The remotes go here, and I have like Xbox headsets and stuff sitting over there when I want to talk to people. So, and these are where the controllers sit for all the systems in this room. All right, so a couple of things left in this room. This is a wall switch with this Philips Hue. So if I ever want to control the lights that has 3 inputs, I can easily just hit this button. They all turn off. If I hit this button, only the back 2 stay on. This one stays on, and then the other ones turn off. And only these 2 stay on, just to have a little bit of light to walk around, kind of like a movie theater light mode. But all the lights for here are turned off. Or, of course, I can turn them back on the way it was with the other button. But the way that this room's actually controlled is either with an iPhone or with an iPad, or you can even just talk to Siri now. That's actually been newly added, where I can literally just talk to Siri and have her do it as opposed to hitting it. But actually have this thing on the side. It is a iPad mini hanging on the wall, and it works really well. It is called Simple Control. It controls everything in my smart home on my iPhone and everything. It even has all the buttons here for everything that is HomeKit compatible, because my whole house is now Alexa and HomeKit compatible, which makes everything work with Siri. And so, like, for example, these are the cameras in my house. If you click on the cameras, here we are right now in the movie room. So you can see that switches, and then I could switch it here to the living room. It takes a second to load. So thing works really, really well. Has all my control options here. Thermostat is here. The temperature of the house is here. My front door unlock is there. My motion sensors are all there. Control the volume of the denim receiver and everything. But you can see here that we have rooms. Here we have the movie room. And obviously the movie room, I can switch it to any room in the house. I have something similar set up in every room in the house. And when you're in a specific room, depending on what you want to do in that room, you can do it. So in the movie room, we have all these options. So if I were to click on Play Xbox One X, you'll see here, Xbox One X just turned on. The screen comes down on its own, puts itself at the angle it's supposed to be on. The projector in the back turns on. That receiver selects the input that it's supposed to be selected to and turns that on. And then this thing turns on, and you'll see that the Xbox One X here in a minute will go on the screen. And that's basically it. And what's nice is that everything has its own remote control. So now you see that you have the volume over here at the bottom. So the volume control controls the denim receiver, so you can control the volume there real quick. Or you have all the Xbox One X controls to hit the Xbox One X if you want to. And that's all customized and stuff like that. So that stuff is really cool. And that is basically how this thing works. And this is a 120-inch screen that comes down and is just an awesome, awesome device. And that's basically it, guys. That is everything in this room and everything I could show you. If I missed anything and you guys want some more details on anything, of course, let me know. If I missed anything, also let me know, and I'll pinpoint whatever it is. If not, thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.
Gaming Techie is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie, gaming tech. Eating brekkie is the gaming tech. Going for a recce is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie is the gaming tech. Gaming Techie.